Yes. So this is grade 6 students. Here we are going to learn the very first unit of us, that is the wonders of our living world. අපි මේ ජීවත් වෙන පරිසරයේ තියෙන අසිරිමත් බව තමයි මේ පාඩමේදී අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නේ. So before moving to what we are going to learn about today's lesson, we will be just see what are the things included in the two pictures shown to you in the presentation. Presentation එකේ ඔයගලන්ට පෙන්වන තියෙන පින්තූරවල තියෙන දේවල් අපි බලමු ළමයි. So over here you see a squirrel. No, some food for the squirrel is there, and there is some kind of a pillar. There are houses. At the same time, some bushes are here. පතුරු තියෙනවා නේද? Some cocks are here, and then grasses are there, trees are there. You see, a lot of things are in the surrounding environment in these pictures. So not only that, we also have many things in our surrounding. No, so even here, if I consider there is a whiteboard, there is a computer, there is a camera, there are lights, a lot of things are around me as well. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the nature of these things. මෙන්න මේ දේවල් වල තියෙන ස්වභාවය තමයි මේ පාඩමේදී අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ. ඉතින් ළමයි අපි පාඩම් කරන විදිය චුට්ටක් වෙනස්. අපේ පන්ති වල අපි කරන්නේ difficult words වලට ඔකුළු දන්නවා මෙන්න මේ වගේ difficult words ටිකක් අපිට පාඩම් වලදී හම්බ වෙනවා. So let us see what we are going to learn new for the lesson that is going to be continued ahead. So wonders means asiriya, living world, සජීව පරිසරය නැත්නම් ජීවත් වෙන පරිසරය කියලා කියනවා. Environment, පරිසරය, surrounding, අවට, component, constituent. These are two similar words. මේ දෙක සමාන පද සංඝටක කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. කියන්නේ අඩංගු දේවල් කියන එක. Consist අඩංගුයි, then different විවිධයි, grow වැඩෙනවා, things කියන්නේ දේවල්, organisms. So as you are a new student for English medium, I have actually made everyone to have a difficult word book where in each at the beginning of each lesson, you are going to get a set of difficult words in a PDF. So you have to write the difficult words with the meanings, and you have to by heart the spellings in those words. ඒ තියෙන වචනවල ස්පෙලිංස් ටික පාඩම් කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒවල තේරුම් පාඩම් කරගෙන ඒ පාඩමට ලෑස්ති වෙන්න අපි පාඩමක් ගන්න හැමතිස්සෙම difficult words එවනවා. ඒත් එක්කම ළමයි ඔයගලන්ට note එකක් විදිහට පන්තියේදී notebook එකේ note එක දෙනවා. So you need to have a notebook as well. In addition to that one, there is another question paper that you should be having, because every time for each lesson you are going to get a relevant question paper, sometimes from the questions made by me, which are very simple, and sometimes I will take the questions from the term test papers held in the past, and I will discuss them with you as for you all to prepare for your exams. And you should know how to write answers to questions uh, in addition to learning the subject matter. අපි subject matter එක ඉගෙන ගන්නවා වගේම අපි ප්‍රශ්න කරන තරමට තමයි අපිට අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත දේවල් අපෙන්ම ටෙස්ට් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා ඒක අපි පන්තියේදී කරනවා. At the same time, at the end of a lesson, always you'll be having an online test, which is a unit test, very small test, but conducted by using the MCQs for a relevant lesson. Okay, let us see without wasting our time, what are the things in these environments. So you see here is a town environment. There is a bus, car, people, dustbins, buildings, no, and here is the village environment. You see the village stores are there, cows are there, cart is there, people, and there is a river flowing here. And then over here is a forest environment, monkey, elephant, deers, lotus, and the water. And here is a coastal environment. A fisherman is there, crows are there, clouds, coconut trees, boats. Now you see everything in the environment. So here we are going to divide these things that we have seen in those four kinds of environments into things that grow, things that do not grow. Grow කියන්නේ මොකක්ද ඇත්තටම? අපි කියනවා වර්ධනය වෙලා කියලා. මොකක්ද ළමයි ඒකේ තේරුම? grow කියන එකේ තේරුම තමයි ළමයි හිතන්න ඔයාලේ චූටි කාලේ ඇඳපු ඇඳුම් මේවා දැන් අපිට අඳින්න පුළුවන්ද? When you were a baby, you have worn these kind of baby suits. So can you wear them now? The answer should be no. No. So, and if you see the shoes that you have worn when you were small, can you wear them now? No, because the size of your foot has increased. ඔගලන්ගේ කකුලේ size එක දැන් වැඩි වෙලා. නේද? ඉතින් මේ විදිහට උස අපේ height එක ඒ වගේම අපේ ප්‍රමාණය amount එක and the size of us when it increases, we say that the objects get grow. So here we are going to list out some materials around us and see whether they can grow or not. So as a quick summary, I will take 6 things around me in those pictures. So then I will divide them into the things that grow and the things that do not grow. Okay. Okay, so as a result, I'll take the things such as people, then cow, bus, then cart can corrupt with the coconut tree. Then as the final one, I'll take buildings. So here we are going to divide them whether they can grow or not. Considering whether they can grow or not. වර්ධනය වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද කියන එක යටතේ තමයි අපි මේක බෙදන්න හදන්නේ. So here things that can grow then over here are the things that cannot grow. Okay, let's quickly see about the people. මිනිස්සු නේද අපි දන්නවා පුංචි කාලේ ඉන්න ළමයා උස්ස යනවා they will increase in height, the size of the baby will increase, and at the same time the amount of the baby will increase with time. No, which means the baby is growing, no? So into a person, adult. So people will grow. Then comes to cow. නේද හරක අර චූටි හරක් පැටියා ඉඳන් එන්න ලොකු වෙලා වර්ධනය වෙලා තමයි ලොකු හරකෙක් වෙන්නේ නේද? ඔය වගේ ලොකු හරකෙක්. Then comes to the next one, the bus. Now what's going to happen? The bus. What is going to happen now? If I am going to move in a bus today, and when time passes, will the bus increase in its height? The bus එකේ bus එකේ seat ගන්න වැඩි වෙයි, the amount of the bus will it change? No, such things won't increase. No, bus එකක් වගේ දෙයක් ලොකු වෙන්නේ නැහැ එන්න. Which means these things do not grow. So it belongs to this part. And then comes to the cart. කරත්තයක් ගත්තත් ළමයි ඒකත් ලොකු වෙන්නේ නැහැ, grow වෙන්නේ නැහැ, වර්ධනයක් නැහැ. And then the next one, coconut tree. tree එකක් ගහක් කියන්නේ පුංචි පැලයකින් හැදිච්ච එකක්. It starts from a small plantlet and then it increases in height. The amount of it increases and the size of it increase, which means it happens the growth. No, so coconut tree belongs here. And the final one is the buildings. You know that time to time people will make the buildings bigger, but the building itself doesn't get bigger. නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ගෙවල් හදනවා, building ගොඩනැගිලි හදද්දි එන්න කාලයත් එක්ක අපි හදනකොට ඒවා ලොකු වෙනවා ඇත්ත. හැබැයි building එක හිතනවා මම මීට වඩා ටිකක් ලොකු වුණා නම් හොඳයි කියලා ලොකු වෙන්නේ නැහැ කොයි වෙලාවකවත්. So what's going to happen? It is a thing that cannot grow. Okay, so you see that not only in those pictures we have seen earlier, but also in the surrounding environments of us. අපි අවට තියෙන තැන්වලනේ මගේ ඉස්සරහ තියෙන කර්ටන් එක. නේද කර්ටන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා එන්න එන්න උස ගිහින් ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙලා හිම වෙන්නේ. It has the same size. It won't grow. Okay, so in my surrounding even there are things that can grow and there are things that cannot grow. වර්ධනය වෙන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් තියෙනවා අනිත් අතට වර්ධනය වෙන්න බැරි දේවල් තියෙනවා. So if you consider the things that can grow මෙහෙම වැඩෙන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් වලට අපි කියනවා නමක් ළමයි we call it as living things. ජීවි කියලා ජීවි දේවල් කියලා අපි කියනවා. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් අපි මෙයාට කියනවා organisms. ජීවීන් කියලා. So those of the things that cannot grow. වැඩෙන්න බැරි දේවල් වලට මොකද වෙන්නේ? We call them as non-living things. We call it as non-living things. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. So here you see the things that can grow are living things, or else we call them as organisms. And then the things that cannot grow are non-living things. Okay, so then the next one is, Lamai, we are going to define what growth is. Now think of this small shoe and the shoe now this child is wearing. නේද? පුංචි කාලේ දාපු shoe එකයි දැන් එයාගේ shoe එකයි හිතන්න මොකද වෙලාද? පුංචි කාලේ කකුලේ size එකට වඩා දැන් කකුලේ size එක වැඩි වෙලානේ. So it has increased the size of the shoe and the amount of shoe නේද? බලන්නකො මේ ප්‍රමාණය මේ පළලෙහිම මේකේ වැඩි නේද? So amount of the shoe is also increased. Then comes to the height of the shoe. Shoe එකේ උස නේද? මේ තියෙන shoe එකේ මෙච්චරයි උස තිබෙලා තියෙන චූටි කාලේ. But now you see that the shoe height has increased somewhat. No, so increasing size, height, and the amount of something. මොනම දෙයක ප්‍රමාණය size එක height එක උස ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙන එක අපි growth කියලා කියනවා. Okay. So you see that the things around you can be divided as living things and non-living things as well. Okay, now look at the things in these pictures. So you will see there are things under living things and non-living things as well. Non-living නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. ඔයාලට පේනවා glass එකක් තියෙනවා, bicycle, stone, book and pencil. Pen. No. So there is no problem. They are non-living things. They cannot grow. But when it comes to this one, you see there is a man, a child is there, a dog is there, a parrot is there, a plant is there. මොකද වෙලා තියෙන මෙන්න plant කියන අයත් ඉන්නවා අනිත් එක මේ dog, man, parrot කියලා සත්තු ටිකකුත් මේකේ ඉන්නවා. නේද ළමයි? So you see that living things are of three different types. Living things ජීවීන් කියන අය කොටස් තුනක් තියෙනවා. පළවෙනි එක තමයි ළමයි plants ලා අපි කියනවා ශාක කියලා. Then the next type is, next category is animals. Then the third one is about the microorganisms. So when it comes to plants, you see here coconut, jack, bamboo, papaya, මේවා plants. Animals ගත්තාම deer, fish, parrot, butterfly, snail, they are animals. And then there is another third group of organisms. අපි ජීවීන් ගැන කියද්දි තවත් තුන්වෙනි කාණ්ඩයක් ගැන කතා කරා. අපි කිව්වා මේගොල්ලන්ට microorganisms කියලා. So this word micro means very, very small. So these organisms are very, very small that we cannot see through our naked eye. අපේ පියවිහැට බලා ගන්න බැරි තරම් චූටි organisms තමයි මේ microorganisms කියලා කියන්නේ. So let's see what are the microorganisms we are given with. Over here you have an amoeba, a chlamydomonas. මතක තියාගන්න මෙයා microorganism කෙනෙක්. ඒ වගේම green color කෙනෙක්. එයාට පුළුවන් green color නිසා photosynthesis කරන්න. Then paramecium is there and the bacteria are there. ළමයි every day after a lesson, every day we are doing some questions like true false questions because I want everyone to read the questions carefully and understand them and to decide whether it is correct or not. That's why I am giving such questions. But in here, I'm not going to discuss the questions. Okay, so coming to the microorganism. So as we cannot see these microorganisms through our unit, the naked eye, අපේ PAV හැට පේන්නේ නැති නිසා මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ අපි ඉන්ස්ට්‍රුමන්ට් එකක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා ලැබ් එකේදී මේ යාලව බලා ගන්න. So we are using the compound microscope in the lab to observe these organisms. And so where can you see these microorganisms? The microorganisms are කොහෙද ළමයි ඉන්නේ? In water, in soil, air, and even in rotten food. නරක් වෙන කෑමවල පවා මේ microorganisms ඉන්නවා. Okay, so here comes the next few difficult words. Characteristics, features, same meaning, ලක්ෂණ. Growth කියන්නේ වැඩිම, increase කියන්නේ වැඩිවීම, height උස, amount ප්‍රමාණය, stalk ගිල්වනවා, common පොදු, germinate ප්‍රරෝහණය, nutrition පෝෂණය, requirements එමත් නැත්නම් needs කියන්නේ එකම දේ අවශ්‍යතා කියන එක depend එකක් වෙනවා photosynthesis ප්‍රභාසංශ්ලේෂණය and appendages කියන උපාංග. So ළමයි we have learned that the things that can grow are living things. ඔහොම කිව්වට ළමයි living things ලා පෙන්නන්නේ growth විතරක්ම නෙවෙයි. වර්ධනය විතරක්ම නෙවෙයි. So there are some more characteristics shown by the living organisms. So we are going to focus our attention on that now. So apart from growth, they also show the characteristic of nutrition. පෝෂණය කියන එක ඊළඟ characteristic එක, then movement, චලනය කියන එක, respiration, then reproduction. So when it comes to growth, you see this small kitten has increased in its height. එයාගේ වැඩි වෙලා, the amount of it has increased, the size of it has increased to grow into a adult cat. ඉතින් ලොකු cat කෙනෙක් වෙලා තියෙනවා මේ හැමදේම වෙනස් කරගෙන. Then here you see from a coconut seed, there is a coconut plant that has come out. And later, after many years, you will see that the coconut plant has grown to a big plant now. So you see the growth happens in organisms from little baby until it grows another adult. The growth will be continued. Okay, so to observe the growth of a plant or organism, we are doing a small activity in the lab. So let us discuss that activity and then later we will see the experiment. Okay, here you go. First, here we are going to identify the growth of the organism. Identifying growth. Or you are learning more about the growth. Okay, what do we do here? We are taking a water container, වතුර තියෙන භාෂණයක් අරගෙන we are soaking the green gram seeds for about 48 hours. දවස් දෙකක් විතර මේ green gram seeds වතුරේ දාලා තියෙනවා. Soaking in water. Okay, then you will see that the small plantlet come out. පුංචි අංකුරයක් මේකෙන් එළියට එනවා. Then what do? We take some cotton, which is wet cotton, and we place our seeds on the wet cotton. And we always provide moisture by spraying some water. Then what's going to happen? Then time to time you are going to observe the measure the height of this seed. මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකිනවා මේ seed එක තියෙනකොට මේ seed එකේ පුංචි අංකුරයක් එනවා. Then what's going to happen? This one will change to give another small plantlet. In the main plant again, name then so you see in this experiment you are going to measure the height of this one. මේ උස තමා මනින්නේ. දවසින් දවස අපි මනින්න ඕනේ. ඒකට අපි දකිනවා එන්න එන ටග්ගා මේකේ size එක height එක කියන උස කියන එක increase වෙලා, so which means the growth has happened in the green gram seed. So let us see this experiment now.
Hi friends, welcome to Discovery Agriculture YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe now. In this video, I'll show how to grow green gram plants. At first, we need to take green grams. Then soak the green grams in water for 6 hours. After that, put the green gram on the cloth. Then store the green grams overnight. Very next day, we can observe the sprouts.
So you see that small plantlets have come out. Really, ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ නම.
Easily, you can prepare the growing mix. Take normal soil and coconut coir powder. Then you can fill it in seeding tray. If you don't have seeding trays, use any trays or containers, or else you can directly grow it in pots. Place the sprouts in seeding tray and then cover the sprouts by growing media. Sprinkle the water every day. Within 3 days, it will grow this much. After that, you can plant it anywhere.
So you see the height of this plant should be measured here. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. So here comes to the next characteristic of living organisms known as nutrition. So nutrition mean always it is just that you are going to satisfy your food requirement. පෝෂණය කියලා කියන්නේ ළමයි අපිට අවශ්‍ය වෙලාවට කෑම ගන්න එක. නේද? So you see this child here in the picture, she's eating a lot of snacks. No, so this is how we eat. So for eating, we have a lot of things, and whatever we like at the moment, we will eat to get nutrition. But plants are very different from us. The plants are the producers of this world. They are producing oxygen gas at the same time, they are producing food. Then, yes. Then what's going to happen? So how do they produce their food? They undergo a process called photosynthesis. මේ ප්‍රභාසංශ්ලේෂණය කියන ක්‍රියාවලියදී තමයි මෙයාලා මේ ආහාර නිපදවන්නේ. So to do this photosynthesis, they need sunlight. The energy from sunlight is actually stored in the food that we eat. අපි කරන්නේ plants හදන කෑම කන එක විතරයි ළමයි. And then they also have carbon dioxide and they release oxygen and they absorb water from the yes, from the soil. Okay, so the organisms are of two types. As I have told you, like us, man, we do not produce our own food. Instead, we take food produced by plants. නේද අපි දැන් අරයා ගත්ත snacks ගැන හිතන ළමයි picture එකේ හිටපු lady නේද? All these things are made up of flour. එතකොට flour කියන්නේ කවුද? මේ plant based product එකක් plant කෑම ගබඩා කරලා තියෙන විදිහ. So in such a way, you see that in each instance, we are actually depending on food for plants. Okay, so let's see the next part. So there are two types of organisms called autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic means they can produce their own food. Heterotrophic means they cannot produce their own food. Yes. So, and also, Lama, you see that in some kinds of eating, you see over here there is a cow and it is eating grass straight away. Grass kene තනකොළ කන ගමන් ඉන්නේ. නේ ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද තනකොළ කියලා කියන්නේ grass means grass කියලා කියන්නේ ළමයි මොකද්ද? මෙයාලා plant product එකක්. plant එකක් photosynthesis කරලා හදපු ගහේ කෑලි තමයි මෙතනදි මේ කියන්නේ. So here cow is directly eating grass, a plant-based product. So it depends directly on plants. But you see here the lion is catching up a deer to eat. No, lion ඩියර් කෙනෙක්ව අල්ලගෙන ඉන්නේ ඩියර් මුවා කියන එක නේ ඇත්තටම ගස්වැල් වල තියෙන අයිටම්ස් කාලා ආපු කෙනෙක් නේද මෙයා ගාව ප්ලාන්ට්ස් වල ශක්තිය තියෙනවා ඒක තමයි ඔය මේ ලයන් කාලා ඉවරලා ගන්නෙ but still lion is not directly eating Sinhala medium stuff no um, yes so here we are going to discuss the second feature of the organism, which is regarding nutrition. Nutrition means always taking food to satisfy our food requirement. අපේ ආහාර අවශ්‍යතාව සපුර ගන්න අපි ආහාර ගන්න එක තමයි මෙතනදී කතා කරන්නේ පෝෂණය කියලා. දැන් බලන්න ළමයි මෙතන first picture එකේ now you see that she's having a lot of snacks with her and she's taking them. Now we humans eat lot of kinds of food items like rice, the pizza, sometimes the burgers, and then hoppers, string hoppers, a lot of varieties of food items. No, so if you consider them one by one, they can be made up of, they are made up of or they are taken from plants. So the reason is because always the food that we eat, not only us, but also all the other organisms, all these food that they eat are taken from or are produced by the plants. මේ අපි කන හැම කෑමක්ම හදලා තියෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම plants दा. Plants make their food by using a process called photosynthesis. So now we are going to see this very important process. Why? Because the whole world gets food from this photosynthesis process. So let's see what's going to happen here. So here you see the plant is there and the plant roots are under soil in this way. No, so you see that plants first need sunlight received by sun to produce their food. Sunlight, when it falls onto the green leaves, the plant starts producing food because you know that when we eat food, we get energy. නේද අපි කෑම කනකොට අපි දන්නවා අපිට ශක්තිය ලැබෙනවා. මේ ශක්තිය කොහෙන්ද එන්නේ? මේ එන්නේ සන්ගෙන ආලෝකයෙන්. ඉරු ආලෝකයෙන් ලැබෙන ශක්තිය තමයි ළමයි ඇත්තටම අපිට මේ මෙතනදී හම්බෙන්නේ. Because the plants they store the energy from sunlight in their food. And at the same time, the plant should be a green plant. Green color means it should have chlorophyll in it. And at the same time, it should also have the gas called carbon dioxide. And the roots of the plant should absorb water. මේ ගහේ තියෙන මුල් වතුර පස්සෙන් උරා ගන්නත් ඕනේ. මෙන්න මේ ටික ඕනේ වෙනවා plants වලට food හදන්න. මේ food හදන process එකේ as a result there is a gas called oxygen gas release which is the gas that we are respirating. අපි මේ හුස්ම ගන්න වායුව oxygen වායුව මේකේ result එකක් විදිහට අපේ environment එකට පිට වෙනවා. So you see that plants do this very important process called photosynthesis to make their own food. As the plants are able to make their own food, we call them as autotrophic organisms. You see animals like us. Not only that one, the other kinds of animals, they are not able to produce their own food. So we are coming under the group called heterotrophic as we are not producing our own food. Now look at these two pictures. So in the first picture, you see a cow eating grass. No, now what is the food of the cow? Cowge ආහාර වර්ගය මොකක්ද ළමයි? Grass, a plant material. නේ plant එකකින් ගත්ත දෙයක්, ශාක සම්බන්ධ දෙයක්. නේද? ඉතින් ඔයගලන්ට පේනවාද ආහාර සඳහා cow grass ලව කෙලින්ම ඍජුවම කන එක තමයි මෙතනදී කරන්නේ. So you see that for some animals they are depending on plants for food directly. They are eating plant stuff directly. And you also see that here a lion is eating a deer. Now here straight away lion isn't eating any plant material. නේද? lion ඇත්තටම මෙතන සිංහයා plant කෙනෙක්ව කන්නේ නැහැ ඍජුවම. හැබැයි වක්‍රව කනවා කොහොමද? එයා කන්නේ plant කාපු කෙනෙක්ව නේද? So it's actually eating the deer which has already eaten the plant material. So you see that in here some animals depend on plants indirectly as well. වක්‍රවත් ආහාර අවශ්‍යතාව සපුර ගන්න ශාක අනුභව කරන සත්තු ඉන්නවා. So here are some more difficult words. Movements means චලනය, locomotion සංචලනය, methods ක්‍රම, sea anemone මුහුදු මල, mimosa නිදි කුඹා, sespenia කතරමුරුංගා, external force බාහිර බලයක් කියන එක, towards දෙසට respiration ශ්වසනය, inhaling ආශ්වාස, exhaling ප්‍රාශ්වාස කරන කියන හුස්ම පිට කරනවා කියන එක, bending නැමෙනවා process ක්‍රියාවලිය. So here comes to the third feature of the organisms called movement. So this is a common feature for all the living organisms. That means plants, animals, as well as the microorganisms. But for animals, there is a specific movement called locomotion. What is that? So let's observe myself. Then පොඩක් මාව observe කරන්න ළමයි. ඔන්න මම දැන් ඉන්න ගමන් what am I doing when I am talking? And I'm moving my hand here and there. I'm moving my body here and there. At the same time, now I will stop doing that one and I am going to do something like this. What did I do in first? I was I was staying in one place and I was actually moving or changing the locations of my body parts. මගේ ඇඟේ කොටස් විතරක් මම එහෙම චලනය කළා. මම මේ movement එකක් කරේ. චලනය කරා. මම එක තැන හිටියා කොහෙවත් කියේ නෑ. මගේ body parts move කරා. And in the next instance, I was changing my place. No, මම ඉන්න තැන වෙනස් කරපු එකයි කරේ. So changing place to go to another location. තව තැනකට යන්න තැන් වෙනස් කරන එක අපි කියනවා locomotion කියලා. Not only myself, but also many other animals like dogs, cats, cows. They also do this locomotion. මේ locomotion කියන එක අනිත් සත්තුත් කරනවා. They are moving from one place to another. So how do they move? Because they are having a lot of locomotory methods. මේගොල්ලන්ට ගොඩක් සංචලනයට ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. For example, fishes, they will swim to change its locations. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තැන් වෙනස් කරන්න මෙයාලා swimming කරනවා. For some, නේද reptiles, මේ snake ලා වගේ අය creeping බඩගාගෙන. Some animals, they will run. And the birds, they will fly. Like man, we will be walking. So you also see that there are some animals, they do not show locomotions like other animals. නේද අපි සත්තු හැමෝම locomotion කරනවා කිව්වට සමහර සත්තු ඉන්නවා මෙහෙම locomotion කරන්නේ නැහැ. කවුද? මෙයාලා locomotion කරන්නේ නැහැ හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ body parts මේගොල්ලෝ move කරනවා. So we say that they are showing movements. So who are they? Let us see who they are.
Located deep
So
in
you see here are sea anemones. So you see the parts of their body will move
shallow waters all around the
whole
world.
body.
Sea anemones may look like plants, but they are actually soft-bodied animals. They use their adhesive foot, called the pedal disc, to attach to rocks, mud, and shells on the sea floor. Some even attach to the shells of living animals. Anemones vary in size from less than an inch to over 2 feet long. They may have anywhere from a few dozen to a few hundred tentacles surrounding their central mouth. The tentacles can expand and contract into their body cavity.
You see, their tentacles or the parts in their body will move, but not that they are able to change their place from one place to another. So even though sea anemone at the same time, the coral polyps over here, sea anemone and coral polyps are animals. They do not show locomotion, they show only movements. Okay, so what about plants? Would they locomote? Will the plants change their place from one place to another? එක තැනකින් තව තැනකට ගස් යනවද? එහෙමනම් අද අපි හිටවපු ගහ වෙන දවසකදී වෙන කොහෙවත් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Will that happen? No, plants do not change their locations as animals. So plants too do not do locomotion. ඒගොල්ලත් locomotion කරන්නේ, they show movements. So what are such movements? You will see that some plants, they sleep. මේ කියන්නේ මේ touch me not නැත්නම් mimosa නිදිකුම්බ ගහ පුංචි වෙනසක් දැනුණත් මෙයා ටක් ගාලා නිදා ගන්නවා. Not only that, there are plants that sleeps at the night time like Sesbania මේ තියෙන day time එකේ කතරුඹරුංග මේ තියෙන night time එකේ. You see that the leaves have got folded. They are sleeping. Albizia you see here, they also can sleep at night. And you also see when you keep a plant near a window, it will always draw towards the window, drawing the plant towards the sunlight. No, you see the plant is drawn towards sunlight here. ඔය විදිහට තව movements තියෙනවා plants එක පෙන්නන, but the thing is within a very short period of time we are not able to observe such movements. Okay. So here, the next thing that we are going to learn here is about the next most important living characteristic called respiration. So let's see what's going to happen here. Okay. So now think of yourself, just start breathing. No, so what will you do? You will take a gas into your body. So at that moment, your chest is going to move up. No, so at the same time, you are going to release that breath. You are going to remove some gas out of your body. Your chest is moving down at that moment. So you see that respiration includes two processes. In the first process, what's going to happen? You do inhale. You are taking a gas into your body. So the gas is the oxygen gas. And then what will happen next? You remove some gas out of your body. You call it as exhale. You remove the gas called carbon dioxide out of your body. Okay. So you see here, respiration includes two processes. So what actually happens in our body now? අපි ඔක්සිජන් ගෑස් එක ඇඟ ඇතුළට ගන්නවා ඉන්හේල් කියන එකෙන්, එක්සේල් කියන එකෙන් කාබන් ඩයොක්සයිඩ් ගෑස් එක පිට කරනවලු. මොකද්ද මේ ඇඟ ඇතුළේදී මේකෙදි වෙන්නේ ළමයි? So you will see that oxygen that we have inhaled during respiration is going to react with the stored food. අපේ ඇඟේ ගබඩා කරගත්ත කෑමත් එක්කලා මෙයා react කරන්න ගන්නවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? මෙයා අයත් එක්ක ප්‍රතික්‍රියා කරනවා. මේ අයත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා මොකද කරන්නේ? අලුතෙන් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් හදනවා එනර්ජි කියලා. අපිට ශක්තිය දෙනවා. අපිට ශක්තිය දෙනකොට මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ කාබන් ඩයොක්සයිඩ් කියන එකනත් හැදෙනවා. ඒ නිසා කාබන් ඩයොක්සයිඩ් අපේ ඇඟට ඕන නැති නිසා එයා පිට වෙලා යනවා. You see that here, in the respiration process, stored food is going to react with the oxygen. You see that it gives us energy. So respiration is the energy giving process. අපිට ශක්තිය දෙන ක්‍රියාවලියක් තමයි මේ respiration කියලා කියන්නේ. මොකද වෙන්නේ මේකෙදී අපිට ශක්තිය ලැබෙනවා වගේම කාබන් ඩයොක්සයිඩ් උත් නිපද වෙනවා. Okay, so oxygen in air, once breathed in, reacts with food stored in the body and it produces energy. So this process is the respiration. So you know that when we are respirating, our chest move up and down, showing they are the respiratory movements. So plants, they also breathe. මෙයාලත් හුස්ම ගන්නවා, but the thing is, they are not showing respiratory movements. ඒගොල්ලන් එහෙම උඩ පහළ යන්නේ නැහැ ඒ වුණාට. Okay, so there are some difficult words moving ahead. Lime water, හුණු දියර, reproduction, ප්‍රජනනය, essential අත්‍යවශ්‍ය, existence, පැවැත්ම, occur සිදු වෙනවා, morphology, රූපාකාරය කියන එක, කියන්නේ appearance එක, පෙනුම කියන එක, occur සිදු වෙනවා, morphology, yes. We have learned habitat, වාසස්ථානය, aquatic, ශලජ, mode, මාර්ගය, chief, හපනවා කියන එක, slow, ගිලිනවා, creeping, බඩ ගන්නවා, herbivorous, ශාකභක්ෂක, carnivorous, මාංශභක්ෂක, omnivorous, සර්වභක්ෂක. Okay, so here we are going to learn an experiment to see whether our exhale gas, අපි මේ පිට කරන gas එකේ තියෙනවද carbon dioxide කියලා බලන්න අපි experiment එකක් කරනවා. So in the experiment, you are going to take a test tube and you are filling it with some lime water and then you are taking a straw to bubble the water. Lime water කියන එක ළමයි මුලින් පාටයක් නැහැ, අවර්ණයි. හැබැයි ඕගොල්ලන් carbon dioxide කියන එක දැකපුවම මම lime water කියන එක නා හරි වෙනස්. එයා off white color එකකට එනවා. color එකක් වෙනස් කරනවා. ඉතින් මෙතන මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඕගොල්ලෝ bubble කරද්දි we are blowing out carbon dioxide gas නැත්නම් අපේ ඇඟ ඇතුලේ තිබ්බ gas එක පිට කරනවා. ඔයත් එක්කම carbon dioxide gas එක එළියට පිට වෙනවා. නේද? So that carbon dioxide gas is going to combine, it's going to make a change with lime water එක්ක පාට වෙනස් කරන එක කරන්නේ. So you see that colorless lime water changes to off-white color, showing you the presence of carbon dioxide in the exhaled air. Okay, so let us see a small part of this experiment now. So this is done by a very small child, so we'll see now. So this is lime water. You see he keeps on bubbling water and the lime water turns to off-white color in here. So this is normal water. Even though you try to bubble normal water, it won't change any color change. It won't make any color change. Okay, coming to the fifth feature of the living organisms called reproduction. නේද මේ පින්තූර ටික බලමු ළමයි ඔයගලන්ට පේනවා ඇති a drawn creeper නේද ටිකක් වැඩිච්ච වැලක් මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ හදනවා අලුතෙන් fruits ගෙඩි ಜಾති හදනවා මේ ගෙඩි වල ඇට තියෙනවා බීජ තියෙනවා seeds are there and from a seed a new plantlet come out. You see making වැඩුණ adult කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ mature කෙනෙක් මෙයා හොඳට පරිණත කෙනෙක්ගෙන් fruit එකක් හැදිලා seeds හැදිලා then it grows into a new plantlet. And you also seen here two animals are there, a cock and a hen. Together they lays eggs. බිත්තර දාලා අලුත් පැටව් හැදෙනවා. මොකද වෙන්නේ මේ හැමතිස්සම mature වෙච්ච organisms ලා. මේ පරිණත වෙච්ච ජීවීන් අලුත් අයව යාලක් ජාති හදන එක තමයි මේ reproduction කියන්නේ. So matured organisms producing new members of their species is known as reproduction. So this is very important for the continuation of the life. Okay, then comes to the diversity of the plant. There is a very small part for us to learn here. Okay. So you see over here, there are two different plants. One is the shoe flower, then the other one is the Salvinia plant. ඔගලන්ට පේනවා ඇති මේකේ ගහේ කොළවල වෙනස්කම් ඒගොල්ල ඉන්න හැබිටැට් එක නේද මෙයාලගේ ඉන්න වාසස්ථානේ වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙනවා පාටවල් වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙනවා හැඩ වෙනස් වෙලා නේද you see that the plants are of different types නේද ශාක ගත්තොත් එයාලා එක එක විදිහයි මේ diversity කියන එකෙන් අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ මෙයාලගේ විවිධත්වය. So how do they get different from each other? From their morphology. මෙයාලගේ appearance එකෙන් පිටත පෙනුමෙන්. නේද? They some from their roots නේද? සමහර අයගේ මුල් අනිත් plant එකක් එක්කලා වෙනස්. stem එක ගහේ කඳ leaves, flowers, seeds, fruits they are different from one plant to another. And then the based on their living habitat. මෙයාලා ජීවත් වෙන වාසස්ථාන අනුව. නේද terrestrial environment එකේ ගොඩබිම, aquatic ජලජ පරිසරේ, mangrove environments වල කඩුලාන පරිසරවල සමහර ගස් හැදෙනවා. coastal environments වල මේ වැලි පොළවේ හැදෙනවා. So there are different plants growing in different habitats. And you also see here based on their nature some plants are making very tall trees ලොකු උසා ගස් හදනවා සමහර අය පුංචි පැල ඇටි හදනවා ඒ වගේම සමහර අය පුංචි වැල් ಜಾති creepers හදනවා you see the plants are different from each other in these three ways not only that one the animals are also different so we'll see it here now what are the difficult words that we are going to come across next based on කියලා කියන්නේ මත කියන එක habitat වාසස්ථාන terrestrial කියලා කියන්නේ ගොඩබිම aquatic ජලජ fix කියන්නේ සවි වෙලා තියෙනවා life span ජීවිත කාලය visible පෙන්눔 කරනවා certain එක්තරා period කාල සීමාව dichotomous key දෙබෙදුන් සුචිය leaves පත්‍ර leaflets පත්‍රිකා කියන ඒවා Okay, when it comes to the diversity of the animals, you see the animals are also of different types. ඒගොල්ලොත් හරි වෙනස්. සමහර අය fish ලා වගේ, සමහර අය කකුල් හතරේ අය. සමහර අය මේ පියාඹන අය. Okay, so you see based on their habitat, they are different. Some are living in the terrestrial environment. ගොඩබිම නේද? aquatic පරිසරවල වතුරේ ඉන්න අයත් ඉන්නවා. And then the some are in air. නේද අර නිකන් පියාඹි ඉන්න අයත් ඉන්නවා. You see the habitat changes ඊළඟට ළමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ locomotion method එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. නේද like fishes like animals මාළු වගේ අය පීනනවා. නේද man like animals they will walk. Birds they will fly. Snakes ලා creeping. They are feeding mechanism. සමහර chewing and swallowing හපලා ගිලිනවා හරියට අපි වගේ some will swallow without chewing හපන්නේ නැතුව ගිලින අයත් ඉන්නවා some will only chew and some will suck සමහර අය පැණි වගේ දේවල් උරලා බොනවා so based on their food also the animals are different some animals only eat meat ඒ කියන්නේ animals තව animals වගේ මස් ಜಾති විතරයි කන්නේ අපි කියනවා carnivores කියලා some eats plant materials and the flesh of other animals අපි කියනවා omnivorous කියලා some eat only plant materials we call them as herbivores then there are external characteristics අපිට පිටතින් පේන ලක්ෂණ නේද color එක shape එක and the appendages කියලා කියන්නේ මේ ඉන්න organisms බලන්න මෙයාලගේ කකුල් ඇරෙන්න බලන්න මේ හරියෙන් ඇවිල්ලා මෙහෙම අඬු ඇවිල්ලා නේද Miss White ටිකේ උනත් එක එක කෑලි ඇවිල්ලා නේද those are appendages you see that appendages of tick is different from scorpion so that of scorpion is different from the crab spider මේ spiders ලගේම ගත්තත් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තියෙන appendages එකිනෙකාට වෙනස් and so you see that Animals are different from each other as well. Then here comes, we are going to learn the difference between the plants and the animals. හරිද ළමයි දැන් අපි plant එකක් ගත්තොත් එimhe they are in a fixed way. එක තැනක ඇලිලායි තියෙන්නේ. මෙයාලට locomotion කරන්න බැහැ. But they show movements. But unlike plants, the animals can do locomotion. එක තැනක ඉඳන් තව තැනකට යන්න animals ට පුළුවන්. Then the next one, plants are able to make their own food through photosynthesis. But the animals, they depend on plant for food. We call them as heterotrophic. Chlorophyll කියන එක plants ලගේ තියෙනවා. එයාලා කොළ පාටයි. හැබැයි animals that නැහැ, they are not green in color. Then the growth. Then මේක බලන්න ළමයි නේද? Growth of animals are given to you here. From a small childhood age, පුංචි කාලේ ඉඳන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? You continuously grow. Increase in size, increase in height, increase in the amount. But you see that after reaching a certain age, your size doesn't change. එක අවධියක් ආවට පස්සේ එක වයසක් ආවට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට ඔයගලන්ගේ size එක වෙනස් වෙලා නැහැ. ඉතින් අපි කියනවා මේ visible growth එක පිටතින් පේන මේ වර්ධනය ඇත්තටම මිනිස්සුන්ගේ වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. It will stop after some time, so it is a limited growth. But for plants, what's going to happen? Continuously, the growth is going to happen. It is unlimited. It is visible in the entire lifespan of the organism. හරි ළමයි ඊළඟ එක තමයි අපි මෙතන dichotomous key කියන මාතෘකාවට එනවා. Yes. So we will discuss about that one in the next video of us. Until then, we will say goodbye.